into crocheting warm hats, scarves, and mittens for those in need, like women and children in shelters, or even to overseas orphans and refugees. Trust that there's charity work that's perfectly suited for you out there, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to make a dramatic difference in another person's life.
And when you do that, you are able to see the beautiful blessings of things that can be used to help you and your family oriented things. Yes, it might be in the house, at your council, to be able to participate in some online service. There are online gyms. They got the mirror. I like that mirror, boy. I want me one. You got all kind of internet activities that you can sign up for you and your family to do together, or just do it individual-wise. Some of them are charging, some of them are free. It just takes a little bit of research and time to find avenues of positive things that you can do. As we think about that, or meditate about that, take a quick break, allow people to go ahead and get you something to drink, discuss it all over. If you'd like to say something to us about this show or put your input in, go ahead and give us a call at 910-985-9090.
Or write to us at tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com. See you in a minute.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Transitional Changes Mission Podcast Show. This is your host, Queen Summers.
And your host, King Summers.
With everything going on in 2021 so far, there are still some remnants of 2020 that could find you irritated or frustrated. So if you find yourself irritated or frustrated by a situation, take a step back and really consider what's going on. Is this an opportunity for you to be more patient? What can you learn from this situation? If you change your tone and be more compassionate with the others involved, can you achieve a more positive outcome? In addition to reacting positively to upsetting circumstances, we can also take the initiative to pour some good into the world. By practicing random acts of kindness, it also creates a domino effect, as others appreciate what was done for them and then decide to do good in turn. Paying for someone else's coffee in a drive-thru will instantly brighten their day, and there's more than a 90% chance that they'll pay for the person behind them in turn, and so on. The same thing if you give a person a smile. Well, 90% chance they will make someone else smile.
What I relate that to is just being optimistic. What I see as optimistic being in my mind is to lay things out on the table. That's what's in front of. I can lay this out as comparing to last year, like we previously was talking about on Vaccine Show, and even on this show, we talking about relative things that happened last year to how we can improve it, which we call a change. Within knowing about this change now, and having more knowledge about it, if we go into the future being positive, optimistic, I think that can guide the way that this year can become. Due to the ways that we didn't know about knowledge of what we have learned, we might have could have been in the same situation as 2020. For what I'm saying, it looks like we have grown. I mean, they got different avenues to try to beat this pandemic, but then you got yin and the yang in the hand. Still working on solutions for the pandemic, but then we still got division within the nation. And I believe that is across the globe. Maybe some countries is not going through this, or
maybe going through worse.
Yes, maybe going through worse with weather disasters and
pandemic.
The pandemic.
Yes, every country is going through the pandemic. So you always got to be mindful to know that the circumstances was not up to par with what was going on in the States. That it's a pandemic. Just imagine the Indian countries. They already were struggling before the pandemic. Now that the pandemic hit, it's even harder.
The death tolls going up, the contact positive results are going up. But what that means with that is that we still have the knowledge and we are trying to do something different within this year to know which have led to having fear, but still is stepping into the future by doing it. I give a ray for the people that is taking the vaccine or even taking more deeper safety measures or try to make a halt in the pandemic from spreading. Then we got the storming of the Capitol. That's the division that I'm talking about here in the nation. If we got that all on the table, the two main things, how can we come together? And in this half right here, I'll try to express my opinion of how we can come together because we are making strides to move forward. Regardless, the pandemic is here. President Joe Biden is here.
Well, I understand what you're saying, King. But I also like to ask our listeners out there.
Yes.
Because we're here, but we're not the only ones here on this globe. We have listeners in India and Australia.
Shout outs to you. Thank you for listening to our show.
In Russia. We have listeners in Jamaica. We have listeners down in Brazil. I would like to know, what do you think? Write to us at tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com or you can call us at 910-985-9090.
And all hands are in. Whatever your opinion is or whatever you like to express as a solution to stop spread of any kind of negative is welcome here at Transition to Changes Mission Podcast Show. And that's what we try to spread positivity throughout these mics, to your speaker, to your ears, to your mouth.
Well, that's the only way they're going to get me to say anything. I don't speak negative.
That's awesome, baby. That is awesome. With the pandemic and this division here, how can we come together on that? That's what we asking globally. But from my opinion, I think we already working on the pandemic. Mm-hmm. On our previous show, the vaccine, we gave out the cure. Now, with the new event that's happening with the division of disagreements about the election or whatever the cause is, the main thing is the pandemic. Because all the kings and queens that went up there to do a protest, we pray that you did it in a safe way. But from results of what we looked at...
In a safe way. You say safe way? And they had grandma up there with a Confederate flag wrapped around her face? Yeah, I don't think that was a safe way.
They didn't do it the right way. And so now they setting up for another retaliation. All I'm asking is for the ones that did the protest. We are the bridge to the communication. Write to us. Give us your comments. Give us your emotions. Because that's what we're here for. We are the bridge to communication because it's obviously some type of...
It's a lot of dysfunction.
Communication. We are here to try to solve that problem. For any countries that is going through what the nation is going through, you have the people of the country trying to reach the leaders of that country, have disagreements, even though a democracy might have was upon that nation, or just as it is here. We have seen it on worldwide TV in Hong Kong, for example. They had a problem like this. But as we see, they still here, dealing with the pandemic. Maybe there was different organizations that was reaching out for them to make communication to their leaders. And that's what we're asking for on this show.
So to everybody that is out there, and I wanted to say a shout out to these people as well, because I know there's many other nonprofits that's listening to us. There's corporations listening to us, our sponsors. Everybody has the initiative to do the right thing in all aspects of your life so that we can communicate with one another instead of about one another. So I encourage you all, this whole 2021, I encourage you all to step outside of yourself. Understand that it's more to this whole world than just you. In order for everyone to even begin to fit the pieces of the puzzle, you have to look to your left and you have to look to your right. And I guarantee if you are out in the public, there's someone standing to your left and there's someone standing to your right. And you might not know them, but I know for a fact, if you give them a smile, they'll smile back.
Yes, because it ain't nothing but you're looking in a mirror. That person is a reflection of you. That's why it's always good to walk around humble and be a servant to each other. Or do your purpose with recognition, good or bad.
Everybody is not meant to serve, but there is good in everybody.
What we believe, that's the positive energy that will be going out to defeat the main topic. We got all these distractions going on, but we can't move forward until we take care of this pandemic.
That's right.
And I urge people to continue to do what is necessary to stay safe or do not spread this pandemic. Everybody is eager to go back to normalcy. We talked about on the previous Change the Show of our opinions about how we feel that things won't go all the way back to normalcy.
And what is normalcy? Because if you really ask me, we wasn't normal before the pandemic. Yeah. So we was dysfunctional and we're dysfunctional now. So it's still dysfunction.
And it makes the excitement of life if you turn it in a positive way. Yes, we have all kind of sorrow going out. We got all kind of job loss. We got all kind of economical things that have been destroyed. I remember I was employed at a company and they wrote a long letter to all their employees that they was in business during the time of a depression. Now just think of a company still here that you might be employed by was here during the depression all the way up to now. That means that they done went through about 4 different wars, 3 different recessions, and countless presidents. And they still here. And if you take that in mind, that means they ain't even have the technology that we got right now. But Lee said they still here. That's the main thing that we got to keep going and give props to each other. If you still stamping on this ground and you're making a purpose every day.
That's right. That's right. And before we close our show tonight, I want to thank you all for listening to us. I want to thank you for listening to us in your spare time.
Let me stop the music right now. I have to ask for prayers for our family. We are at ground zero with the community of the world. Yes, we talk positive, and it might seem that we are not involved in experiencing some of the hardship that others are. But yes, we ask for our prayers for our family, for as Queen Summers had lost a dear one, a king that was only 28 years old. And with his falling of him, it has put a lot of stress within our family on, but we got to keep thinking positive. I give hooray to my Queen Summers wife.
Thank you.
To even be on this podcast show at this moment with her emotion.
Thank you.
So we ask everybody to keep prayers up for everybody. Because every day, something is not granted for you. Don't walk around here with that. Walk around with the promise of a higher power loving you and keeping you here.
To love one another.
To love one another, be humble to each other, and be a servant and do your purpose. But it doesn't matter about what age you are, how healthy you are. It's all about the positive energy that you carry inside of you that will blossom like a flower.
And whatever you do, always, if you get a moment, a thought of a family member cross your mind, reach out to them. Because I can talk on this show and I can smile while I'm talking, knowing that before my family member left this earth, I spoke with them. And all is well.
We thank you for tuning in to Transitional Changes podcast show. And look out for that changes 3, 4, 5, 6, man. It's infinity, man. We love y'all, man. We thank